Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the PokerGO podcast. And we got a good show tonight. At least I hope so. I feel freaking good.
Hope so.
An absolutely, positively historic night here at the World Series of Poker. A historic 48 hours, to be quite honest. Shiina Okamoto. More like Shiina Okagoto. Okay. That's right, buddy. That's right. That's why
that was so bad.
That's why they paid me the big.
That was so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah,
cut that.
It's so
from
bad. The thing is that you can't. Here's the thing, and I've talked with producer Rich Ryan with some people like this before. Is that like you can't be in the middle, right? You have to be like so good that it's good. Like when I see PokerGo's like main set production, like it's so good that it's good, right? So that's like the top of the top. Or you have to be like so bad that it's bad, but it's good. You know what I mean? Like when I see like the example of this, and I freaking love the guy, but Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez. Like when he fires up his like late night with Wobs after NBA games, and it's just like him on his iPhone on Twitter or whatever, just like talking into a camera, like there's no special lighting. He's not in the studio, like he's in his living room, like whatever. You know, it's just like, it's just off the cuff. It's raw. It's whatever. So yeah, that joke was so bad that it's good. That was my dad joke. I got 2 kids. I'm allowed to say shit like that.
It's allowed. Yeah,
Shiina Okamoto is the freaking GOAT. Okay. Shiina Okagoto. That's how we do it. Narcus Nedelcu. Hope I didn't butcher that name, but I probably did. Winning the $1,500 8 game. We're going to take a look at who will be this year's Gladiator of Poker because they are playing down towards the final table. Don't think they're going to get there, but they're down to the final couple of tables. Either 2 or 3 tables will finish up tonight, and then they're going to come on back on Monday. Trying to look at my clock. I'm all confused. It's 11:56 p.m., by the way, on Sunday, June 29th. 10K PLO is in the money. $2,500 mixed big bet kicked off. The mini main event kicked off, setting the stage for, of course, the main event. So big stuff happening here at the 2025 World Series of Poker. If you're listening, favorite the show on whatever podcast you're listening to. Leave us a review. It does help us grow. Trust me, these are how the algorithms work. The more that a show gets feedback and engagement, the more it's going to push it out to people, you know, so people like yourself. Also, listen, word of mouth, people. If you know you got some friends that enjoy poker, please tell them about our show. Tell them about the PokerGo podcast. It does help us grow. If you're watching on YouTube, you can hit the like button. That's the little thumbs up below the video. You can also subscribe to the PokerGo channel. But most importantly, leave a comment. Please get in there, banter with us, give us your takes. You know, we can't meet everyone that's listening and watching the show, of course, because not everyone can come out here. But we can meet you virtually in the chat on the YouTube video. So that's what you do. Tim and I go in there regularly. We like to read the comments. We also try and delete all the spam, of course.
Why can't we meet them all?
I mean, we can virtually meet them.
Why can't we just...
Because if they don't come here, we're not going to meet them.
Why don't we take the podcast on the road?
Then you can do whatever you want.
Breaking news.
We are not taking the podcast on the road anytime soon.
That'd be fun.
Anytime soon. If you love poker, but you don't want to spend a dime, check out Play Poker Go. It's free to play. It is super easy to jump into. And yes, it actually feels like real poker, except for that a-hole that busted me with Queen 3 the other day. Calling a raise from the small blind.
You're still salty about this, huh?
I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding. It is a bad play, but I don't care. Real players, real hands, real fun. Ring games, tournaments, sit and goes. It's all there. It's all free. And for the ring games, the top level is now branded high stakes poker. So just like you see high stakes poker when you watch it on PokerGo, you can go and play these high stakes poker themed tables. Pretty cool. And then the sit and goes, because No Gamble, No Future has the Wheel of Pain. The sit and goes on Play Poker Go now have the Wheel of Gain. You spin the Wheel of Gain, you see how much gold you're playing for. It's a jackpot sit and go variety. So get on in there. Ring games, tournaments, sit and goes. It's all there. It's on playpokergo.com. You can also grab the app on iOS or Android. Let's go. Let's get on the tables. This podcast is also brought to you by True Classic, the home of high quality, affordable clothes for men. They have more than just t-shirts. I know the name suggests maybe, True Classic tees, maybe it's just t-shirts, but trust me, they have much, much, much more. You can get an entire wardrobe there. Head on over to trueclassictees.com. This year, we've partnered with True Classic, and we're doing a special end-of-year event at the PokerGo studio, and you could win a $5,000 package that includes a buy-in into that event. Also, we'll have hotel and travel stuff in there, so you can get out to Las Vegas, put you up in a fairly decent hotel room, I believe, and then you'll be playing at the iconic PokerGo studio. Just go to trueclassictees.com/TCPokerGo. And what you need to do is you go there, you fill out the information, there's a form, but most importantly, you need to tell us your poker story. So, tell us your dream, your journey, why you got into poker, why it's meaningful to you, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to give you guys out there, all the podcast listeners and viewers, a little inside tip here.
Ooh.
Ryan from True Classic, he's going to be picking the winners. And by the way, there's going to be 15 winners. This isn't just a one $5,000 package. This is 15 $5,000 packages. But he really wants the best stories that mean something. He wants to help people really achieve their dreams, right? Really help their poker dream come through. He wants to help that come back. So tug at the heartstrings a little bit, really lean into it. Don't freaking lie, okay? We're poker people. Ryan from True Classic, the founder, he came up playing poker. So the guy can spot a bluff, okay? Don't bluff, right? But just like you do at the poker table, you got to sell your plays, okay? So be strong, be confident, tell a good story, make it meaningful, and let's go. There will be 15 $5,000 packages given out. Again, that's to come out to the PokerGo studio and play in the signature event. So let's go. trueclassictees.com/TCPokerGo. All right, let's get into these news and happenings. We got Shiina Okamoto, a.k.a. Shiina Okamoto, baby.
How many times are we going to say this? You've done it 3.
Probably 14 times. I mean, come on. Okamoto does it again. She successfully defends her title in the Ladies Championship here at the World Series of Poker. Now, not only does she defend her title, first place last year in 2024, first place this year, 2025. In 2023, she got second. We've talked about it a lot already, so I know I'm repeating myself by saying she went second, first in 3 consecutive years, but I cannot state enough how freaking awesome that is. She won $184,000 this year. If you run the numbers on the probability of finishing in the top 2 spots in 2023 out of a field of 1,200, finishing first in a field of 1,200 in 2024, and finishing first in a field of 1,300 in 2025.
I got the answer.
What is it?
50-50. Either happens or it doesn't.
Okay.
Right? Am I wrong?
Sure, buddy. Yeah.
But am I wrong? It either happens
exactly.
or it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
50-50.
Exactly.
50-50.
Anytime you want to play heads up for rolls, let's go. 1 in 930 million.
That's a big number. Big number.
That's the sort of scale we're dealing with here that this happened. It should absolutely be celebrated, absolutely be championed far and wide. Part of this, what makes this such a cool story, now the accomplishment is simply incredible, absolutely extraordinary, right? I mean, it's like just gasoline on the fire that she's Japanese. Japan is a burgeoning market. It's ready to explode should things break a certain way. And poker has been becoming a little bit more culturally relevant over there in Japan. So that's great. Masato Yokosawa, the superstar Japanese vlogger, every time that guy posts a vlog about poker, he gets 1 million views. I mean, it's wild how big it is, or how big he is, right? Just looking at Shiina Okamoto's Twitter, for example, anytime she was posting about the event, now it's not like she has no followers. She does have, I think, 35,000 followers. It's probably a few more after what happened tonight, but it's thousands of likes, hundreds of retweets, however many comments. There's a lot of buzz around her. So there is something happening here. And I mean, just speaking to the accomplishment itself, okay? We always talk about consistency. We talk about it a lot when it comes to poker, because that is oftentimes like a measure that we can grade things on. Anyone can kind of get hot here and there, but to do it repeatedly, I mean, that's like this holy grail that people just hope to latch onto and find. And what Shiina Okamoto did is, it's honestly the way that she performed in this event is beyond consistency. She dominated.
Yeah.
I know she didn't win that first time. She finished second, right? But the second time around, dominated. This final table tonight, dominated. It's absolutely just crazy. She's not on a heater. She is writing her legacy in real time. And like, I feel like I'm going to remember this as the Shiina Okamoto era. Like, this is her era.
So 2023, she was the chip leader and finished second. Like, that's 3 final tables, 3.
Was she the chip leader last year too?
I think she was
entering
too.
the final
I'll check
table
it right now. That in itself is just insane.
She's the most accomplished player in the history of this event, hands down. Like, that's not even debatable. And this is one of the greatest feats in all of poker, all of the WSOP, in all of history.
She was not the chip leader in 2024 when she won, but she was literally 9 big blinds out of 120 something. So
I highly doubt anyone's ever going to do this again. I mean, now I'll say that until Okamoto, aka Okagoto, runs it back in 2026, right? I mean, because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that and Grinder's probably going to win 5 more.
Grinder's going to win his fifth PPC title,
6th and then 7th,
and Okamoto's going to win the ladies' championship once again.
Yeah.
Back-to-back events or back-to-back wins in an event is extremely rare. We talked about it, a couple episodes ago. Obviously, we talked a lot about not this year, but in past years, Adam Friedman in the dealer's choice, the 10K dealer's choice, winning it 3 years in a row.
There's not that many to win just to go back to back in general in the World Series.
I know it's
like
absolutely crazy. 10, and then you do it in a large field tournament, no limit hold'em. Like, there's a lot of variance involved, right? And you have to be able to, like, you just get through the minefield. Like, you just can't lose. Like, it's just, the whole thing is just absurd to me. It really is.
I know I'm the stats man, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably the biggest ever back-to-back in WSOP history. Got those smaller main events in the early years. We got Adam Friedman, you mentioned. We got Dan Cates in the PPC. We got Aaron Cummings from a few days ago in the Deuce. But those fields we're talking, a couple hundred, 140, 150 in the PPC. This is thousands. Just completely different scale of things. So even more impressive. And didn't we talk the other day about, like, the greatest accomplishments? This, we have to put this somewhere on that tree of accomplishments. Just, I don't know where it is, but it's up there somewhere. Just due to the field size and even throwing in. We talk about Johnny Chan going win second to Helmut. This is like the opposite, second win. But in massive fields. So yeah, it's right up there. Has to be.
I think also something needs to be said. Like, you get so close in poker, and we've seen it at times. She got second in 2023. Could have been some heartbreak. Could have been like, what? Damn, I'm so close. Could have messed with her mentally. But instead, look at what this has turned into. And then she runs it back, right? She wins it. Then she shows up this year, and for sure, when she was coming into the event this year, even I thought it and probably said it, that this is like her event. Let's see how she does. Especially she gets a chip lead early on, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, she's doing it again. Here we go. And once that starts happening and people start talking about it, you can start hearing the whispers. You can start seeing the messages or whatnot. Like, is she going to do it? Is she going to do it? Type of thing. And that means the pressure builds.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes into the final table with the chip lead. She freaking dominated this final table. Just amazing stuff from start to finish. So, like, having that mental fortitude to get through this all is also, part of this, being able to execute on poker's biggest stage. And she did that. And she did it, 3 consecutive years, back-to-back years, as a winner. And then I mentioned the Japan thing and how that ties in. She's from Japan. It is untapped there. I know that poker is starting to gain some legs. There's some events that are like part of more poker clubs than they are like actual casinos and stuff like that. It's because the restrictions on real money gaming there are still holding things back. But there's been talks about if and when a casino opens there. I remember my time at the WPT. We did a partnership or whatever with some people in Japan. And
JBet? Was it JBet?
I can't remember exactly, but the idea is like, listen, we at the WPT when I was there, it's like we want to be positioned that when this market does open up, if it does open up, we want to just be able to go flying in there right away. Because I think everyone sees the potential that Japan has. I think a lot of what people see with that potential is when you see a Masato Yokosawa post a vlog and it gets snap 1 million views.
Yeah.
When you see, Shiina Okamoto generating the buzz that she's generating when she posts on social media, like there is a ton of buzz there. Some of those, clubbish events or whatever however you want to, classify them in Japan, I mean, they get big numbers, big turnouts, right? So there definitely is a market that is ready to expand rapidly, explode there. I mean, it's just a matter if it ends up happening. The cultural legitimacy of poker is growing in Japan. So that's why this matters on that scale. It can and it should inspire. It should certainly open doors, however you want to frame that part of the conversation. So I'm here for it. Let's go. And then I also don't want to overlook the fact that this 48-hour stretch that we've had has been amazing.
Yes.
Michael the Grinder Mizrachi first. That was last night. He cements his legacy with a 4th PPC title. I mean, just wild shit right there. I mean, just absolutely wild shit. And then Shiina Okamoto does this. Or Shiina Okagoto, as I keep calling her.
That's 5.
I mean, come on. Come on. You know what I feel? You know what I thought of when, and this is funny because of what's been happening today on the internet, when I thought of the Shiina Okagoto thing, because I obviously wrote in the rundown, Shiina Okamoto more like ... because then I was going to drop it on the thing. But what made me think of it was Dave Portnoy and how he has these stupid like nicknames and whatever and things. And then it's just funny that there's like a video going around today on the internet about some guy freaking out at a pizza shop. Like he like hits the pizza out of the guy's hand. Like
Dave does?
No, it's not Dave.
Okay.
But if you glance quickly, it looks like Dave.
Okay.
Like if you don't fully like follow Dave and like watch his reviews or whatever, you might be like, oh, that's Dave Portnoy. And I think the tweet says like that Dave Portnoy, like what an a-hole, like whatever. But it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny that that's getting buzz. And I was thinking about the whole Shiina Okagoto thing. And like basically how Dave Portnoy attaches himself to Caitlin Clark. I'm just going to attach myself to Shiina Okagoto.
That's fair enough.
Right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a goat. I'm going to put 2 bracelets around his neck and I'm going to walk around this place because that's what I'm doing.
You're definitely not doing that.
But yeah, 48-hour stretch here. Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. Now you have Shiina Okamoto. I mean, it's just absolutely outstanding greatness on display this summer. Mizrachi's the guy who's already a legend, winning 3 PPC titles, 6 gold bracelets. That is just absolutely incredible. Then he goes on and wins a 4th for his 7th gold bracelet. I mean, hello. And then, Shiina, like she's like, it's an interesting thing because I think she's a legend, like already, but she's also like building her legendary status in real time. So it's like both things are happening at once. Because to go second, first, you're a freaking legend, right? But it's also like it's not done. Like she's, she's like still like this is still in the moment. So she's building this legacy of hers in real time. As I stated, like this is the Shiina Okamoto era. Like 10, 20 years, oftentimes we sit around all the time and we do it. We sit around. We say, oh, remember that? Oh, remember that? Oh, remember that? Like we're going to remember this. Remember that time Shiina Okamoto went second, first? I mean, that shit was bananas. What the heck? So anyway, you can have the floor.
No, I mean, you've nailed everything. I've got nothing else to add, really.
I'm just amped up by it. I think it's great.
I can tell. It has, like you said, it has been a pretty wild last couple of days here at the World Series. And as we kind of touched on, it's pushing us in the right direction. The main event, 3-4 days away. The buzz is happening. The rooms are getting busy. So many players here. And like you get in moments like this that are really just pushing us towards this finish line of the 2025 WSOP.
So I'm trying to find a 4th thing, but in my mind, the top 3 things right now that are sticking out to me as like, if I were to ask the question, what is your standout showcase moment from the 2025 WSOP? I would say
podcast hats.
No, I would say these aren't in any order. These are just the 3 that I have on the list, and I'm trying to find a 4th one. Michael the Grinder Mizrachi, 4th PPC title. Shiina Okamoto, winning this year, going back-to-back, second, first in the last 3 years. I would say Nick Schulman was the other one, winning the biggest ever 10K deuce to 7. You're shaking your head? You're not going to remember that?
You're not very good at this job.
Go ahead. What else?
Benny Glaser, buddy.
Benny Glaser is the other
He
one.
trumps Nick Schulman.
That's the other one I was forgetting.
Come on.
No, but I'm trying to come up with 4, and I think Schulman makes it in there. Part of why. So here's the thing. I don't think
Schulman by itself is big enough.
So here's why I put certain things into categories, and it's because of the buzz that it generates on the outside. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fully explain myself, but Schulman, his specialty is no limit deuce to 7. He won the biggest ever no limit deuce to 7 championship after a grueling 8-hour heads-up match against an incredible no limit deuce to 7 player in Darren Elias. Like that, exercising that type of greatness, as specialized as Nick is with that game, when it's the biggest event after that type of match, that is just some incredible stuff. So that's just a standout moment to me. What are the standout moments? Now, I will tell you, I'll be honest. The reason why I, ignorantly overlooked Benny Glaser is because it's still ongoing and it's been 3 separate wins. Now, I should not do that. It's a mistake of mine. I'm fully, duck up, right?
Duck up. Donnie Pizza Pie. Yep.
Because it's just when things are stretched out, I kind of need to sit back, and I'm getting too honed in, But yes, you are right. Benny Glaser is the other one. So those are the 4. Basically, what I'm saying is if you were to put this out as a poll, what's your standout moment? Or the other thing is you have to wait till the end of the summer, right? And then you're going to say something like, what are you going to remember most from the 2025 WSOP? And then you list the things. So, and the reason why I come up with 4 is, I think of Mount Rushmore has 4. If you do a Twitter poll, it has 4 things that you can put into it. So right now, I think those are my 4. And I already know what's going to happen is I'm going to put the poll out and people are going to be like, oh,
what about this moment?
Victor Blom making 4 final tables. I'm like, well, he didn't win one, so he can't be in it. I'm sorry. It's just not.
I got 2 I want to add. I'm not saying they're above the 4, but I want you to consider.
I'm going to tell you this. It's not that you can't add them. It's that you have to just put them in this on the short list, and then you have to try and come up with the 4.
No, I get it. I just want
right now. I think the 3 are for sure Benny Glaser, Mike Mizrachi, and Shiina Okamoto. Okay. And then now we need to find a 4th. For me, I would put Schulman there. Okay, but there's other considerations. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, my first one. I'm not saying it's worth as equal to these. I just want to consider it. Let's throw it out there. Let's
Hall
put it in
of
a
Fame.
pot. No. Put it in a pot and stir around. The year of 7. And what I mean by that is we've had several big names win their 7th bracelet. Now, Benny won his 7th and 8th. Let me finish. Grinder 7. You kind of already touched on that. Schulman, Brian Rass. That's a big number. Obviously, you're now tied with Hennigan, Baxter, Negreanu, etc. That's one, but you've already stolen a bit of it. So I don't know if we want to put that in there. But
before you go to the next one,
okay,
I feel like you said last year was the year of 7. I'm not joking. I'm pretty sure you said that.
Rich, can you go
or
back?
Maybe it was 2 years ago, but I'm pretty sure we had a year of 7 already.
I don't know if we did.
So how many years of 7
I'm not sure it's possible. I'm not sure it's possible. The next one,
because didn't Seaver do it?
Seaver got to 7 last year.
Yeah, but I think
and Negreanu got to 7. That was it.
What about the previous year?
That was Hennigan.
REA?
No, REA is 6.
REA is 6.
Maybe it was the year of 6. Everyone got to 6.
I'm pretty sure we did this conversation.
No. Rich, wind it back. And here's the other one I think that has a bit more weight than that one. And I want to say it's the year of first. We always talk about players to win their first bracelet. Some of these names from this year, okay? I think the biggest one, Seth Davies, okay? We've got Philip Sternheimer. That's a big one in my mind. I've just lost my whole place. You got Rainer Kempe, big high stakes guy from Germany.
Man, I'm already changing my list. I already got my 4th. I know what it is. I mean, I'm an idiot again. Duck up.
Okay, yours is not. I'm a duck up. You're like the Donnie Pizza Pie or something. Whatever.
No, it's just
whatever
it's
we
just,
came up.
It's now. It is the poker podcast Ducked Up, hosted by Tim Duckworth. Just like it's the ladies' championship, hosted by Shiina Okamoto.
And the other one, sorry, I forgot to mention because I was talking to him today, was obviously Darren Elias.
No, none of that matters. The fourth one. Sorry, Nick Schulman, you got to go. So we're kicking Nick off.
Okay.
It's Mr. Casino Royale himself.
No.
It's Mr. Not Like That.
He's not like done anything yet. He cannot be on.
Yeah, but this
list.
is one of those. This is one of those.
No.
But I'm telling you, this is a moment in time when you look back, you're going to say like that was the summer when X and people. There are going to be enough people that say Martin Cabral for sure.
I need one more moment. I need one more rebound to get my triple double.
Buddy, when I'm like, you don't manage the social media. I do. It is freaking Martin Cabral all freaking day.
I still look at the social media.
It's
but yes,
Martin Cabral nonstop.
I have noticed that. Yeah.
I mean, you got people at the Venetian saying, "Not like that" at the final table. Like, I mean, it's just it's spread like a disease. And some might say it is a disease at this point because they don't like the guy and they don't like his antics. But it is everywhere. It is everywhere. So that's right now. That's to me. Now listen. This is of course a list that is not solidified.
No. It's
right?
it's in Sharpie.
We just got to make sure. We just got to make the top 4, and then when July 17th rolls around, we'll be like,
"Hey,
where
are you ranking Martin Cabral? 4th on your list?
4th. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying because I bumped out Nick's accomplishment.
I didn't know if you had bumped Martin above Benny though. That's what I was kind of asking.
I bumped out. No. But Benny's for sure in there, and Benny's probably going to win 5. So he's whatever. I mean, I'm still not going to get off.
What's he done recently? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's a good question. It's been
like a week. It's fine.
I know, right? I know.
And he spent 4 of those days playing the PPC, I think.
Yeah. So it is funny. Like that's actually something worth thinking about. Is it, or maybe how much did playing the PPC for so long like hurt his chances in other events? I mean, not that it's 100%. Probably whatever, but yeah. But Benny's good enough to win the PPC, obviously. So anyway, a lot of different topics that we hit on there. But again, Shiina Okamoto.
6.
The absolute. Huh?
6.
6 what?
Goat references.
Oh.
Okamoto 6 times. I said, so you're going to do it 25, so 6.
Amazing. So she defeated Heather Alcorn in heads-up play. Heather taking home $122,000 for her second place finish. Former the dealer of the year here at the WSOP in 2019. Yeah. So great run by Heather. Stephanie Hagberg, 3rd place. Julie Hune, 4th place. Sonia Shashikina, which I have a question. And you don't have the answer, but I may have to ask
the
it.
Answer?
So I turn on the stream today and I'm watching. And it says on the leaderboard at the top and also on the hole card graphics for the name, it says Veronica.
Okay. Maybe she goes by Veronica.
Well,
what's your name? Because you go by a different name.
No, but they showed the last names and all that stuff. So it says Veronica. So is it...
Wait, they had her last name as Veronica?
Yeah, like I think she might go by Sonia Veronica. But like... What I'm saying is that like in all the YouTube descriptions and stuff that you write, it says Sonia Shashikina. So I was just very confused as to like what was going on.
I don't know where Veronica came from.
Either do I. I'm assuming.
Oh, I see. Look, I see this.
I'm assuming she told them that that's what she prefers as her last name or something.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. I was very confused.
Yeah, this is.
I'm just wondering when did production make that change and could they tell us next time? Because now I don't know what I'm supposed to be calling her. So Sonia, I do apologize, but 5th place for you. Congratulations. Juliet Hegedus, 6th place. Sumir Yunomaki, another Japanese player, I believe. Mm-hmm. She was actually eliminated by Shiina Okamoto. And then I'm just going to cram it in as many times as possible. That's the final 7 that came back today on the stream. Very, very entertaining stream, too. I would highly encourage you to find that on the PokerGo YouTube channel or on PokerGo.com.
Who won that again?
Shiina Okamoto. Let's go.
Just want to finish on a lucky Asian number.
Narcus Nedelcu winning the $1,500  8 game, his first WSOP gold bracelet. Like Shiina Okamoto, Nedelcu won $184,000. Same first place prize. He defeated Scott Abrams in heads-up play, another close call for Abrams. Abrams does have one bracelet. I think it was 2023. He won his first. But he's been close many times at the WSOP as well. You know, he's one of those players where maybe things break a different way. He's got 4 bracelets. I mean,
Did you see the final hand?
I did not see the final hand.
They were playing,
I was too busy watching Shiina Okamoto.
10. I believe they were playing PLO as part of the 8 game, or some version of Omaha. They both had King 10. They got it in. They had the nut straight. You see Scott in the video kind of go like this, the kind of, you know, sign that it's chopped up. But actually, Narcus had a flush with the King 10 when run a flush to eliminate Scott. So a little bit of a
everyone's just misreading PLO hands with King 10 in
Well,
them.
I think he did that when he was was chopping, and then obviously hit the I think it went runner club or club on the river, and yeah, a little bit of a bad beat there from Scott Abrams, I would say.
Walter Trickarici?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say his last name?
No idea.
Okay. $83,000 for third place, Mark Ledke. Fourth place for $57K, John Cipriano, Elaine Ron, and Christian Malik round out the final 7. Anything else?
No.
You just looked at me. I thought there was something else there. All right. So congratulations to Narcus Nedelcu, $184,000 for him, the $1,500 8-game winner. On Monday, June 30th, we are going to find out who is this year's Gladiator of Poker. Remember, this became the second largest live poker tournament of all time, baby, with 24,629 entries, a $300 buy-in. There's $420,000 up top for the winner. How's it looking over there?
17 left. It is flying.
Of course it's flying.
Thought we
What's
were
the
gonna
average
bag?
big blinds? 12?
We thought we were going to... No, it was 20 before. It was going to bag with 20 runners. We're just into the last level, and we're already at 17. So we could be down to 12. We may have to give them a little bit more of a sleep tomorrow when I need them to come early.
Well, the plan is on Monday to stream the final table of this event. I believe it will be on PokerGo.com, so you have to be a subscriber. I believe the next 2 days of streaming are on PokerGo.com. Have to be a subscriber to PokerGo.com. If you aren't a subscriber, use the promo code podcast so you can save yourself $20 on the first year of a new annual plan. Any names over there? Roland Israelashvili was in there.
He still is.
He still is. Oh my God, Roland.
10 chips.
Roland,
with looks like about 15 bigs.
Roland,
a little bit under average.
I can't even fathom being in a 24,629 entry field and being down to the final 17. It's just that has to be quite surreal.
But otherwise, yeah, it looks like Manuel Reyes is the chip leader, staggering chip leader. 130.
What are they guaranteed right now? Like 20K?
Let's look.
You said there's 17 left?
Oh, now it says there's 15 left.
Oh my
24K.
24K. Jesus Christ. It's so good. For a $300 buy-in, I love the World Series of Poker. It's just the best thing ever. It really is. All right, so more on the Gladiators of Poker on the next episode, but do tune in to PokerGo.com on Monday, June 30th. Time TBD, or is it?
The stream is set to go live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're just trying to work out what time to bring them back so they're not here waiting too long.
Yeah, of course. All right, so that'll be on PokerGo.com on Monday. Tune in for that one. Should be a lot of fun. $420,000 up top in this year's Gladiators of Poker. The 10K PLO Championship. How many do you remember what I said it would get for entries?
No.
What did it get? It got 894? 874. Got 874. I mean, it's just this field is ridiculously enormous. Isaac Kempton leading the way right now. 1.394 million, so basically $1.4 million up top. They did get into the money a little bit earlier today. A fairly extended hand-for-hand portion. First player to bust in the money was Nico Milgram. It's funny because I was over there. They actually went hand for hand with 137 players left and 132 paying. So earlier than normal. Okay. Normally they go 2 off the money. They go to hand for hand, but there was so much stalling that they decided.
There was a shot clock though, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But who cares? These guys stall all the time. So they're stalling. So they go hand for hand earlier. Nico had 19K, I believe.
Okay.
and or does he have 19K? 20? No, yeah, 24K. I think. And he goes through the big blind. It was 5, 10, 10. He goes through the big blind. He obviously pays the 10 and the 10. He folds. He's got 4K left. So he's going to be blinded in the next hand. But somebody goes broke.
Well played, Nico.
Somebody goes broke. And he gets into the money with 4K. And he busted,
bonus?
He busted on the hand. No, he busted on the hand. But good for him. But Nico did cash. I think he took 12th.
In the 8 game.
No, 10th in the 8 game.
In the 8 game, yeah.
10th in the 8 game. And then, so whatever that pays, 10 points, I think. Or more than that. 17 points? Look that up.
I don't know the fantasy stuff, buddy. That's all you.
I believe it's 12 points. Where are we at? Man, we are way down there right now. It's unbelievable. 12 points.
Okay.
And then he got 2 more points in the 10K Omaha for cashing. So, I mean, we're trying, but Jeremy Osmus is just not doing it for us. So what are we going to do? You yesterday, by the way, speaking of freaking duck ups, good Lord. You're like, get on this show and you're like, yeah, Jeremy Osmus is leading. He was like fucking 100th in chips. No, he was so far off first place, it wasn't even funny. I mean, it was unbelievable.
So PokerGO lied to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did.
Unbelievable.
But, I mean,
Chad Holloway. Why would you do that to me?
I mean, it's just, yeah.
Making me look like a fool.
I mean, Chad, what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
All right, so who else is in this thing?
It's all the PLO heroes coming. You mentioned Isaac Kempton. We got Seth Davies. He's going to bring it on. We got Michael Rocco making his.
I saw Seth today in the hallway on one of the breaks, and I said, I thought you were taking a break. He's like, I got bored. Okay, got bored. Max Late Reg 10K PLO, one of the bigger stacks. Let's go.
We got Jora Van Hoof, who is Jim Murray's random player of the day. And I had to correct him and said he's been here the whole series.
Yeah, we've been talking about Jora Van Hoof for weeks.
Don't know what he's doing. He's obviously not listening to us. Alex Foxton's in there. We have Robert Mizrahi, Chris Frank. I mean, everyone is.
Stephen Chidwick, Alex Livingston,
Michael
Ryan
Wang,
Honig, Ben Lamb.
Ryan Honig.
Scott Bowman's in the money again.
Oh, wow. Eric Seidel.
Phil Ivy's in there.
Ryan Reese.
Okay. Phil Hellmuth is in there.
Oh, let's go, Phil.
Funny with Phil Hellmuth. So, in typical Phil Hellmuth fashion, they get to heads up play in the ladies' event.
Who's that between?
Who shows up on stage? Shiina Okamoto and Heather Alcorn.
Okay.
Who shows up on stage? Phil Hellmuth, of course, right?
Phil, come on. Let the ladies have their moment.
Then, what hand does Shiina Okamoto win it with?
No, don't say nines. Don't say black nines.
Black nines.
No.
Black nines.
What is this white magic?
Black nines.
What is this white magic?
It happens. It happens.
Wait, like the next hand?
It was like within like a couple minutes.
This is.
I go
eerie.
over to Phil and I said, Phil, did you just see what happened? He's like, no. I was like, she just won it with 2 black nines. He's like, you're kidding me. I was like, I swear to God. He like went up there and like touched her with his white magic, and then walked off. Boom, 2 black nines. Game over. I mean, it's just.
This is eerie. This is very eerie.
I mean, you can't make it up. You absolutely can't make it up. I mean, it's just incredible.
Anyway, Benny Glaser.
From one goat to another. It's just great stuff, man.
Benny Glaser, still in too.
Okay. What about Benny Ludlow?
He just busted.
Oh my God, Benny, come on.
101-ish. So, hey, he made some money.
Could you imagine if Benny Glaser's 4th bracelet of summer was in this 10K
it'd be awesome.
PLO?
It'd be beautiful.
I mean, it'd be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, just some crazy shit. Seriously. The $2,500 mixed big bet and the mini. Oh, by the way, quickly before I get to that, the 10K PLO Championship will be streaming on Tuesday.
Correct.
On PokerGo. So stay tuned for that one. The $2,500 mixed big bet and the mini main event both kicked off today. Which one do you want to hit on first?
Let's go the mixed big bet.
Okay. Mixed big bet had 458 entries this year. I just pulled up Poker News and there is a picture where Deeb looks like he's laughing his face off and it says Deeb with the slow roll.
Love it.
Anyway, it had 468 last year, so 10 less. I mean, whatever. $207,000 up top in this year's event. Obviously, Sean Deeb is in there. Looks like he's doing well. Chris Vitch looks like he's doing well. James Ops, that's your boy, Kangaroo Crew. Brian Rast, Dylan Wiseman, Dario Aliotto, like the greatest $1 pick in the history of 25K fantasy. Dean Eggs is in there. Hopefully he's not misreading any hands, but he's in there. Jeff Madsen, Rob Holling, John Turner, Jake Schwartz, Phil Sternheimer. Who else we got? Marco Johnson, Alan Lee. All look to be in there. I see Johnny Shorman, London John. Let's go. Let's go. He must have been double dipping today because somebody sent me a screenshot of
There's
them.
that very own Jeff Platt.
Yeah. And London John was at his online table. So
putting in the work. He's putting in the work.
Is London John.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, 30 cashes. It is on the way. He just needs to make a final table. I think that's also coming. The guy's getting close, but yeah. Maybe the main event. You never know. Maybe he'll be the token old guy in the main event that runs deep.
The John Hesp?
The John Hesp.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a little less color on the jacket.
Well,
you know,
we can get a colorful jacket for
London John is like, his black cap, that black hoodie. Just he's a grinder, man. We don't need the flashiness. Like we got it. London John, baby. But if London John makes it up his main event final table, I'm going to get him a special Big Ben card protector. That's what we're gonna do. What do you think? Like a little Big Ben? Maybe one of those little London red. See,
here's the
phone
problem
booths.
with that. The Big Ben's always under construction or broken. We don't want to put that we don't want to put that out there.
Since when are you a freaking expert on Big Ben?
Oh, I'm an expert. Don't worry. We need to get him something more iconic for London.
Like
that's
what?
a red telephone box. Big, fucking right there on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, no Big Ben. We don't want broken Big Ben.
All right. Well, let's go London John. The mini main event kicked off today. Now, I was not aware that they have 2 starting flights this year, and they did not have 2 starting flights in the past.
I think, we did not know this.
I thought last year it was just the same thing, but I guess they added a starting flight. So that means that this thing is going to be absolutely freaking enormous.
Yeah.
Some would say massive. Some would say massive. This flight today, 4,077 entries. Last year, can you confirm with this last year thing, please? I looked on Poker News, but can we look somewhere else?
What exactly want me to look for?
I want to make sure that there was only 1 flight last year.
If you looked on Poker News, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Poker News just had days 1, 2, 3, which would tell me that whatever. Is it in your biggest flight doc or whatever that thing is?
It's not called the biggest flight doc.
Whatever that spreadsheet is that you have.
Confirmed as 3 days last year.
Yeah, so this thing's going to have 10,000 entries in it. Are you playing? Get in there.
No, I can't. I'm busy.
I'm in there. I'm in there tomorrow. I'm dusting it off.
Hope you win.
I'm dusting it off. I can't freaking wait. I cannot wait. I'm getting in there with the people. Nice early 10 a.m. start.
Damn, you are keen.
Yeah, of course. I really. It's funny. I think I've said this before on the podcast. I've definitely talked about it with friends. But when I play live, I absolutely want to be their hand number 1. Always. Especially the World Series of Poker. There's just something special about it.
Yeah.
Just being there, hand 1 in an event. And the World Series of Poker is just so much different than so many other events that there's going to be a bunch of other people there. Like sometimes I show up at the Win, or I used to show up at the Win, like hand number 1, and there'd be 3 tables. And we're playing 3-handed on one of the tables. And obviously it fills up, right?
Yeah.
But no one's in the rush. But I feel like with so many more recreational players and whatnot at the World Series of Poker, that place is going to be hopping at 10 a.m. So I will have coffee in hand. I will be ready to freaking go 10 a.m.
PokerGo podcast hat.
Coffee in hand. Likely not a podcast hat. I will have my I will have my 2 card protectors.
What are we doing?
I will have my 2 card protectors on the table ready to go. That's another thing, by the way. Jason Kuhn brought it up. I believe poker.org asked him about the card protector. He has that little Triton symbol one,
it's
right?
So nice.
And he said that he thinks that, we should bring back card protectors because they bring back an element of fun to the game. I had this exact conversation with my good friend Mike Ziemba 2 years ago, about how card protectors are cool and fun. It was the year that I ran deep in the 2K here. And I was at a table with whoever the guy was that won the PSPC. He's Russian or something. He won PSPC a couple of years ago. I forget his name. And he was at the table was his friend Nikolai Tulin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look up the guy who won the PSPC.
Try it. Alexander Shaiklo?
Alexander what?
Alexandra Shilko. He's Belarusian, but
Shilko. Yes,
Shilko,
he's
yeah.
Belarusian. Him. He has this little card protector. It's like I think it's like a guy like backpacking, and like then his buddy like Nikolai Tulin also had card protectors. And like I'm like later texting or talking with my friend Mike about how like they're kind of like fun and they're cool. I sat next to another guy at the Wynn recently. He had a little Peppa Pig. Okay. I know you know what Peppa Pig is.
I know.
So I asked him.
Unfortunately, know what Peppa Pig is.
Yeah, exactly, and I know too. So I asked him. I said, what's the semblance of this Peppa Pig?
Yeah.
And he said, it's because my son likes Peppa Pig. He gave it to me, so I use it. So I have 2 little card protectors that I use. And I just think that they're like fun little trinkets that can possibly spark a conversation. I have my bag's over there, but I have a little lion because my friend Mike, the person I was talking about the card protectors with, very, very good, talented poker player. We always talk and whatever, and he's always like reminding me just like be a lion at the table.
Okay.
So I thought it was funny then that I should get a lion. So I got this little lion figurine, and then the other one is like a little black like poodle dog.
Okay.
Because my dog Duke.
Yeah.
So I have Duke and I have the lion, and they just chill. I
started this thing kind of late last
year.
Sometimes
depending on how I'm feeling, I might just put one out. Like if I'm feeling like I want to fuck shit up, just the lion. If I'm feeling like maybe it's gonna be like WSP main event, maybe I'll just put Duke out there because I don't necessarily need to be a lion on day 1A, and I should probably chill and not 6-bet all in with King Queen off. So,
I started this thing where I could get my son to give me like a Hot Wheels car, his favorite Hot Wheels car.
See, that thing was cool.
So and then when I lost, I gave it back and said this wasn't lucky. I need a lucky one. So he would go on a hunt. He's got like hundreds of Hot Wheels cars. He would hunt for a lucky one. When I won when I cashed in the WPT free roll, for 4K, this was a lucky one. We retired it, but I got him a Roblox gift card. When I went deep in the MSPT Venetian, when I cashed for like 6K, I think I got him a $100 Roblox gift card as like, thank you for picking out the lucky card. Now, obviously, you might want to argue the car has nothing to do with how I played, but it's also, I think, a good way to kind of involve my son in poker a little bit. Not that I play a lot, but I play enough where he's interested.
Yeah.
I did have an idea to double down on my cowboy shtick by getting like a vintage boot spur.
That would be incredible.
I'd put it on the table and like so you could spin the little thing. I haven't really found one I like because I want it poker themed. I want some like suits on it, so it's very obvious it's poker. It's a boot spur, it matches the whole cowboy get up. I could put it on my boots if I want to. I haven't really found anything that I love, but like if you guys are out there and see something that would be perfect for me, vintage boot spur, poker themed. This guy wants it.
I mean, I'm slowly building up the courage to bring my Aztec death whistle as a card protector.
Oh my God. Okay.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you know what that is? Sometimes I tell people they have no idea what it is.
Let me check this.
I mean, it's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
I might be thinking something different.
Maybe I'll bring that at some point. I mean, I doubt it, but it would be cool.
And it's when you blow it, right? And
you blow it and it sounds like somebody's like screaming in the dying. It's like out of control.
Yeah,
of course, I did not buy that, by the way. My friend Mike sent it to me out of nowhere. Once in a while, I'll just get packages, and it's from Mike, my buddy who I'm talking about the card protectors with, and it's just like random shit like this Aztec death whistle.
Like, no context. Just
like no context. It'll just show up. Like it's just, I'm just like, what? And of course, I just know it's from him. The reason why I know it's from him is that like when I order Amazon packages, it says Donald Peters.
Okay, this one says Donnie.
This says Donnie.
Okay.
And I only know of him sending me packages from Amazon. Okay. So I'm like, it has to be him. So, and then
it's a death whistle.
I send him a thing and whatever. But my daughter freaking loves it. She loves to blow it all the time. Oh, it's so great. Yeah. It's so great. But anyway, maybe one day I'll bring that and just put it on the table. maybe blow in the middle of the mini main event.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't do it.
But I do think, like what Jason Kuhn said, it just makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more lighthearted, right? Yeah. Maybe somebody asks you about it, you strike up a conversation. If you see someone with one, I'm like, okay, at least this guy's not like super serious. Like he's at least having some fun overall. Like so, it's just good. I like having them. So so normalize card protectors.
Yes.
Have them be like a cool, fun little thing. And like I've looked at different ones, and maybe I'll get one that's just like completely wacky and whatever. But like I think they're cool and fun. So let's have them. Share them on social media. Do the whole thing. Like I think it's good for the game. But the matter at hand, mini main event. 4,077 entries in this flight. They have another flight on Monday. I'm going to be in it. Last year, they had 6,093 entries total in this event. They're going to get 6,000 tomorrow or today, meaning this is going to be a 10,000 entry field for sure.
It's madness.
For sure. Now, one of the benefits of this is, from an entries perspective, is you can play both flights. Freezeout per flight, but you can play both flights. And it's called the mini main event because it has the same structure as the main event, just sped up
Plus
and condensed. Plus the one re-entry. But you get 60,000 starting chips. You know, you go through the same blind levels, but they're 30-minute levels, I believe, so a bit faster. But
This should really have 4 flights, 10 a.m., 5 p.m., and then it should have a day 2 where you can enter as well.
You're saying just exactly mimic.
It should be copy paste. If it's the mini main event,
but you have to still be able to get it over.
That's why
in
you do 2 flights on one day. Why does it need to? Why they already added a day this year? Why can't they add another day next year? Make it a couple days earlier.
I'm saying 3 days, meaning the day ones are one day, like collectively, and then whatever.
I mean, there's all ways you do it. If you want to make the real mini main event, it's got to be more.
I just don't want it to be
like a 7-day,
like too close to like the Millie Maker and the Monster Shack and that sort of stuff. Like it should be essentially what I like this to be. And I know you're not supposed to call it this, and I don't want to, but I'm going to use it to paint the picture, is a turbo version of the main event for a 10th of the buy-in. Like that's what this is.
Yeah.
So, but you could do stuff like that. Sure. Like you could extend registration somehow. Like I don't know how, but figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe people can come in with 5 big blinds. Who the hell cares?
I 100% would.
Yep. So, we do have a duck up that you got to get to.
Right now, you got to just put me. You're just going to throw me under like that.
I mean, yeah.
We like to recap events here on the PokerGO podcast. We talk about winners, talk about the losers.
We talk about Shiina Okamoto.
I was going to say we were going to talk about the ghost, but you beat me to it. We had a little tweet today from one of our fans saying that, hey, you missed one, and I think you need to mention it. So we're going to wind the clock back. Event 61, the $500 no limit hold'em freezer won by Craig Savage. He topped a 5,082 entrant field to win the bracelet and $229,000.
Oh, is that all?
That's all. Just $229K, $500 in freezer. So cruised his way through to win that. So big apologies to Mr. Savage. And thank you, Evil Roy on Twitter, for kind of, pointing that out, making us go back and give Trevor the kudos he needs. So there's a duck up counter. Make that spin, producer Rich.
Savage, if you find his Twitter, which I'm not going to be able to find now on the fly, but if you are able to find it, he was kind of like sharing updates throughout the event. Certainly, it looked like there was a lot of emotion when he won, what it meant to him. So, very, very cool to see him go on to win again. What was it, $229 for first place from a $500 buy-in? So simply incredible stuff there, and honestly, that's what the World Series of Poker is all about.
His Twitter bio, you can find him at XSavageX. Father, husband, educator, that's fine. Neuroscientist, psychologist, can't speak today. Behavioral economist, coach, poker player, bleeds dark blue. What's dark blue? Is that Duke?
Bleeds Duke blue. Everything.
I've got my glasses.
Everything on that profile sounds great until he got to the bleed Duke blue. We can just.
Are Duke the bad guys?
No one likes Duke. Like just like no one likes the Yankees. Like no one cares about Duke, other than people who like Duke. Like
got it
for whatever weird reason. I mean, he probably went to Duke.
But probably yeah.
But yeah, most people hate Duke.
Okay.
So sorry, Craig, if we're hating Duke.
Yeah, well, I mean, congrats on the
accomplishment.
That's not me.
Congrats on the accomplishment. We don't care about Duke, but congrats on the accomplishment. It is really cool stuff for you to go on and get that. I don't know how you cram all that stuff in there. What was it? Psychologist, neurologist, behavioral scientist. I don't know how you do all that and then be a poker player. But good on you.
Everything.
Good on you.
Not just a poker player, bracelet winning poker player.
True. Very, very true. Very, very true. All right, that's going to do it for us. It's 12:48 a.m. I got to try and get some sleep so I can be here. 10 a.m. tomorrow, coffee in hand, mini main event time. I cashed in it twice before.
And this will be the third time.
My best finish was 115th.
You'll finish
back
better
at the
than
old Rio. Hope I
Rio.
better that finish and go on to do great things in this one, because this one is going to be enormous. Absolutely enormous. I'm going to say this one gets 10,800 runners total. You got a number?
What did it have today?
4,077.
I'm going to go 9,986.
Okay, cool. 9986, 10,800 here, and that's going to do it for us. His name is Tim Duckworth. My name is Donnie Peters, and we will talk to you guys next time.